Today, we are talking about something that every couple secretly Googles at some point. How do we keep the spark alive? Spoiler alert, no, the answer is not just buying roses every Friday. We are diving into something deeper. This is called erotic intelligence. So, what exactly is erotic intelligence? Psychotherapist Esther Perel describes it as the ability to balance between closeness with mystery, safety with adventure, and love with desire. Think of it like this: love is like dal chawal, comfort food, warm, safe, and reliable. On the other hand, desire is like biryani, spicy, aromatic, makes your heart race. To keep a long term relationship alive, you need both on the menu. A lot of people think desire should always be spontaneous, like those Bollywood scenes where the hero and heroine just lock eyes and boom, fireworks. But in real life, you are usually locking eyes over unpaid bills, laundry, and whose turn it is to walk the dog. That's why it's important to normalize responsive desire. Many people, especially in long-term relationship, feel desire after intimacy begins, not before. And guess what? This is perfectly normal. Let's break down a few practical ways to boost your erotic intelligence. Number one, protect otherness while nurturing closeness. Means don't become so glued together that you forget you are two different people. For example, take a solo trip, start a hobby, or just read a book your partner is not into. When you come back, you bring something new to the table. Remember, even your Wi-Fi works better when it has some space between the router and the device. Number two, cultivate erotic imagination, not just technique. Sex is not only about gymnastic moves in bed. It's about curiosity, play, and imagination. A playful text in the middle of the day, like, guess what I'm thinking about right now, can be more erotic than reading the Kama Sutra page by page. Number three, structured sexual communication. Most couple talk about Netflix shows more than they talk about sex. Try tools like wants, willing, and want. Wants, like, I would love more kissing before sex. Willing, like, maybe we can try role play once. And want, sorry, no public experiments. It's like grocery shopping. You don't just walk into the store hoping your partner magically buys what you wanted. You make a list. Number four, pressure free touch protocols. Actually, this is my favorite therapy tool. Partners practice touch without the pressure of sex or orgasm, like massage, caressing, exploring skin with feather, even lying together silently. No performance, no goals, just connection. Because sometimes the best intimacy is just lying in bed, laughing about who snores louder. Number five, scheduled intimacy. Yes, I said it. You can actually schedule sex before you laugh. Think about it. We schedule gym workouts, dentist appointments, even Netflix binges. Then why not intimacy? Of course, it shouldn't feel like filing taxes. It's like, oh honey, it's Tuesday 9 p.m., let's get it over with. Nope. Instead, frame it as a protected couple time. Light candles, play music, flirt a little beforehand, make it something to look forward to, not something to dread. Number six, self expanding dates. Do something new together, like salsa classes, pottery, hiking, or even cooking sushi at home. The brain loves novelty. When you try new things with your partner, your relationship feels new again too. If your sushi looks like a crime scene, even better, because laughter is sexy. So, what are the takeaways? So, here's the takeaway: desire doesn't just happen forever, it needs attention, play, and imagination, like I have already said. Talk about sex. Don't leave it as the elephant in the room. Mix routine with novelty, safety with mystery. Remember, keeping the spark alive is less about perfect bodies and more about curious minds and playful hearts. And if nothing else works, hey, at least schedule a date night where you both put your phone on airplane mode. So that's all for today's episode of MindMed Talks. If you found this helpful, share it with a couple who needs a little spark in their life. And remember, relationships are not built on grand gesture alone, but on everyday acts of connection. So stay curious, stay connected, and keep the laughter alive. See you next time.